Can't just keep it simple, can they? Rules as soon as it's probably fucking retarded. Okay, so you should all have a because XLR is the one that created this file. Go over to the arsenal and grab a C25 PVS scope. One of them, SC25. Yeah, you got the model in a second. Give me a moment. Don't mind me. I haven't eaten for 8 hours. Grab the SU-230 slash. Oh yeah, SU-230A PVS. Yeah, that's right. Change your rifle. Keep the same fucking rifle. So XLR created this mission file, and I have different ways of running marksman training because I teach you to be a marksman. I don't teach you to be a fucking sniper, and I don't teach you how to use the fucking sniper scopes in this fucking shit. So if you guys saw the scopes you had, anything that is a magnified scope with a variable magnification, like the LRPS that you guys might be familiar from base Arma. As soon as you put that on your rifle scope, all of a sudden you have a lot more complicated shit to play with. You have to deal with wind, you have to deal with air temperature, you have to deal with range estimation or range distance to your target, and you have to adjust your scope to be able to actually hit your target. And you also have to adjust for wind. So it gets a lot more complicated. So I teach it nice and simple because you start simple and you work your way up, walk, crawl, and run. So we're using the LCAN Spectre, probably the Spectre LCAN scope tonight. It is a 5 or 6x power magnification scope. Okay, so go ahead and line up and get on channel 60 for your radio, please.
Alright, so a few things first. With any type of marksmanship, you have to fucking have 3 critical elements. You have to have... Actually, pardon me, there's more than 3, but it boils down to basically 3. You have to have a fucking stable shooting platform. You have to have a stable shooting platform. You have to have the ability to estimate how far your target is from you, because guess what? Bolts don't fly in fucking straight lines. They fly in parabolic arcs, so we'll talk about that in a moment. And then number 3, which is trigger control, because if you jerk the fucking trigger in real life, guess what happens to the gun? You're not going to necessarily be pointing the gun anymore at the target that you're aiming at when you jerk the trigger, because you'll fucking misalign your point of aim will basically shift, depending upon which hand you are. Typically, for 70% of the population, these shots will all of a sudden jerk to the right. So, what do you have to worry about with Arma? You don't have to worry about trigger control, you have to worry about ranging your target, or range estimation, and you also have to worry about stable shooting platform. Obviously, a few of you figured out what the most stable shooting platform is, so if you guys look at me real quick, this is the most stable shooting platform. Prone, why? Because guess what? The weapon is supported entirely by the ground almost. It's even more accurate if I fucking deploy it with a bipod. And then as we move up from the sitting position, so we get to standing, we move from most accurate to most stable to least stable. Why does that matter for you? Well, guess what? If you don't have a stable shooting platform and you're trying to shoot shit at long ranges, you're going to miss. The long and the short of that. So if you can, please assume the fucking prone position, and go ahead and take a look at the first target out there that is to the northish. You probably won't see the rest of them until you zoom in, though. Alright, go ahead and get to glass. That means go through your scope. You'll notice the scope looks a little different from a few of the ones that you're used to. You have the fucking vertical crosshair, and you have the horizontal crosshair. And you have a bunch of hash marks down beneath that. So what they've done is they've gone and taken this reticle, which is known as a ballistically drop compensator reticle, and they figured at this distance, this is the point that you need to hold your aim over for this caliber weapon. At this range, this is the fucking range that you need to hold your weapon over. So you see the 5, the 6, the 8, and the 10? Guess what those represent? Those represents the fucking, pardon me, that represents the fucking meters in increments of 100. So the 4 represents 400, the 5 represents 500, pardon me, the 6 represents 500, or 600, so on and so forth. Why is that significant for you? Well, if you also take a look at the fucking crosshairs, you notice that the number 4 one looks a little bit wider than the number 6, right? So they've also gone and done is they figured out, hey, a fucking man-sized target at this distance, his shoulders will be this wide. So if I take my reticle, I can actually put it over his shoulders to see how fucking far that target is for me. So if you hold over to the right of the first target just a little bit, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Slowly drift your fucking cursor over to his shoulders, and you'll see that the 4 kind of lines up relatively close with the target's shoulders. So again, let me fucking break that down for you. A bunch of people have gone across and averaged out the average width of a man's shoulders, figured out, hey, with you this level of magnification, this is how wide his shoulders will be at this distance. So you can effectively now use this little ranging system to determine how far a target is. Okay, so what do you think that number is between the 4 and the 6? Because there's no 5 on there, so yeah, it's going to be 500 meters. So congratulations, guys, you can now range targets out to effectively 600 meters. Now, before we start shooting, we're going to talk about a couple things. What is your role within a squad as a marksman, or designated marksman? Okay, let me break this down real quick, and let me be very precise with this. You are not a sniper. Do not try to be a sniper. You are a cohesive element of a fucking fire team. You maneuver with them, and you are there to engage the fucking squad's ability to engage targets beyond typical small caliber 5.56 round platforms, which have a typical engagement range of about 300 to 400 meters, max effective range. You're there to extend it out to 500 and 600. You're basically there to extend the lethality of your fucking squad through fucking extended range capabilities. And through precision fucking marksmanship, okay? You're not a sniper. Snipers typically engage targets anywhere from 600 to 700 meters. So at the end of the day, what you need to be doing is you guys need to be shooting for center of mass. That's going to be the chest area of a target out to about 500, 600 meters. Some people in this community treat fucking marksmen as fucking snipers. You are not. Alright, now that we've cleared that up, what does that mean for you guys? Move with your squad. If a fucking squad leader tells you to get eyes on something that's further out than anybody else can engage, guess what? That's your fucking job to engage it. Alright, so go ahead and fucking line your cursor up with that target. You should see that if you hold over at about 400, that you hit. Go ahead, walk down the line. Let's start with Ghost Warrior on the end. Go ahead and take a shot.
Next. Next. 4. Not the one above it. There you go, headshot. Next person. Seymour. And last person. Oh, real simple shit.
So, real simple shit. Now, that being said, we have a target that's further back behind the other target. Go ahead and try to estimate the range of the target. Do not say it aloud. Keep it to yourself. And fucking estimate how far that target is from us. Anyone got a solution yet?
Yes.
Okay, what do you estimate it to be?
Around 500.
Next person?
Same, 500 for Ghost.
Alright, next person, anybody else? Anybody else want to say differently? Alright, I'm going to whip out the laser. We're going to actually find out how far this is. By the way, you guys suck at this. Or at least one of you does. 498. So, you can see with a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, this becomes quick. You guys can fucking engage targets out to effective ranges that are well beyond the fucking normal rounds, or the normal limitations of the 5.56 round. So if we transition to the next target over there, go ahead and try to figure out how far that target is.
600.
Nope. Try again.
550.
Nope.
650, 700.
700 meters. So this is beyond what's normally your guys' fucking max engagement range. This is when we're getting into sniping territory, gentlemen. Okay. As you can see at this distance, that target's really fucking tiny, and it's going to be a little bit of a hard fucking shot to make. So actually, let me see if we can make it from here. Thank you for what I said. Let's see if I can make it. So, why do we use this scope versus the other scopes? Okay, turn around, go back to your fucking armories, and I need you to grab a few things.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Can everybody on my left hear me?
Yes. Hey, firm.
Okay, make sure you guys grab an LRPS, the black one. You need to go to your vest, and you need to grab a find it. To grab a range card, a range table, a range card. You also need to have in your backpack. To have a find it. It's not a Kestrel. No, yeah, you need a Kestrel 4500 NV. Then we're going to go and we're going to shoot, and I'm going to show you the comparison between the sniping shit. So while we're in the fucking arsenals over here, let me talk about ammunition real quick. So default ammo you should be bringing for this is going to be M118 20 rounders for this rifle. Reason why is because in real life the M118 is the standard long-range cartridge for NATO forces, so it's pretty ubiquitous around the world. Should fucking mirror its real-life counterpart. They did a really good job with ballistics in this game, so it's going to have a little bit of a little bit more speed and a little bit of a flatter trajectory to it than the M993 or the M62 Tracer. That being said, for training purposes, today you're going to go over here and you're going to grab 2x magazines of the M62 Tracer. So you can see your shots and learn to adjust from your point of fucking miss. Right, so when you guys are ready, come back over and go prone. And let's get on that target that's at 700 meters. 2, 3. Oh, we already know the target's at 700 meters. It's at 699 exactly. But welcome to the wonderful world of sniping. I'm going to illustrate how difficult or how much of a pain in the ass this is to adjust your point of fire and shit constantly. So, what I need you to do is I need you to go to equipment, and I need you to go to range card, your self-interaction. So, you should see a new page that pops up. It says at the very top 308, 175 grain, 762 M18 special ball round. And it helps if we load the right ammo, so make sure you load in the M62 Tracer round, please. Yes, the fucking type of ammunition that you have in the rifle, or the magazines that you're using, will matter on the fucking amount of dope that you need for your rifle. Dope stands for data on personal equipment. Basically, it's a fancy term for the adjustments you have to make to the turret, or to the turret on the optic. So that way that the point of shift lines up with the target properly, so your point of impact will fucking line up properly with your point of aim at distance. Alright, so we see a bunch of numbers. So first ones you need to worry about are going to be the range to the target. So 700, well, that doesn't really help me because we don't know a couple things yet. So I see a bunch of different numbers. If you look up at the very top, it says bullet in MRADs. You got 15 or negative 15, negative 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35. So those are going to be air temperatures. So to be able to shoot a rifle with a fucking sniper scope like this, you need to know what the air temperature is. So we're going to go again to self-attraction equipment, and we're going to go to... Fuck, because they had to change how the Kestrel works. Thanks, guys. The Kestrel out of your backpack and put it into your fucking uniform, please. Then go back and go ahead and open the Kestrel up. Okay. You'll have the Kestrel menu, you'll have the Kestrel pop up on your top left-hand side of the screen, and you can interact with it. Go ahead and push the up and down arrows until you see temperature, and then it'll say degrees Celsius, and then you'll have a number down there. Well, that's going to be the air temperature. So we're at 28.2. You guys see that?
Yep.
One person sees it out of 5.
User screen 2.
Thank you. Alright, so with that data in hand, we go to the fucking range table. We go to the range card. Open the range card again. We now go and we look for 28. Well, guess what? There's no 28 on here. So, is 28 closer to 25 or to 30?
30.
30, right? So we go to the 30 column and we say, okay, I need to know what the distance is to this target. Alright, pardon me. We already know what the distance is to the target. So we take the 700 number and we take that column over till it lines up with the... we take that 700 row and we move over till it lines up with the 30 degrees Celsius column, and you'll see the number and it says 6.7. It looks like there's a negative next to that. Don't worry about that. That is actually a positive number. That's just like a little fucking it's a fuck up, honestly, in my opinion, because it confuses the fuck out of some people. But yeah, so our adjustment's going to be 6.7. So then we go and we take our rifle and we push page up until we get to 6.7.
I see 6.5.
You using...
Well. If we reload to the tracer, it says 6.5.
Ah, I did not. Okay.
If you reloaded the tracer, it should be saying 6.7.
It says 6.5 for me.
Yeah, it says it for me as well.
You're using the
M60 whatever tracer.
62 tracer?
Yep.
I hate this game. Mine says 6.5, so I'm going to shoot at 6.5. So, anyway, whatever your fucking page says, set it to that. And zoom in on your target. Now you have to worry about another thing, wind. So we push left shift plus K, and we see that the wind is coming from our top right-hand side. So what I have to do is I have to hold my point of aim slightly over to the right-hand side of the target, because why? Guess what? The wind is going to push on the bullet. So by the time it impacts that target, or by the time it actually reaches to the target is at, it'll have been pushed back onto position. If I do not do that, my shot will go to the left of the target and probably not hit him. So stand by while I shoot. And it went high. Wonderful. So if I'm at the right target. And hit. Center mass. So, a lot more complicated and a lot more unnecessary. So, again, let's go back to that scope we just had. SU 230 PVS, please. And we'll see how much simpler this is. Take my word for it, or you guys can fucking actually see it and experience it yourself. Oh, we're back to that scope. I fucking find my reticle, I aim a little bit higher, and I fire. Hopefully hit the fucking target. Anyway, point is, at the end of the day, this shit is a lot more simple and less complicated and cumbersome than the sniper system. If you guys want to learn advanced marksmanship beyond this point, you need 210 sniper training. We'll be running it probably Thursday at some point. That is subject to change depending upon what fucking comes up with life. So, questions?
Measuring wind with the Kestrel.
Measuring with the Kestrel, don't worry about that because it's taught in sniper school.
Sure.
Okay, so the example here that I'm trying to provide to you guys is like, hey, here's this nice easy method that you guys don't really have to worry about because this is supposed to be like the basic qualification for you guys to be able to shoot at sniper school, right? Sniper school is where you learn all the hard fun shit, okay? It's where we have all the hard fun tests. So, the idea is with this class is to get you guys with this shooting platform and getting out there and being able to engage targets at range and do it effectively. So, one nice little thing though about these fucking reticles is that this target or this reticle will be able to work for you with almost any rifle. So a couple things again about the reticle though. See that nice little red dot there in the very center? What do you think that's ranged to by default?
200.
100.
It's about 100, 300 meters. So if so even if I'm aiming at that target that's 400 meters, I can aim pretty much at it and I can shoot at it, despite the fact that it's 400 meters. Okay, that really shouldn't be right. Yeah, hit it. I'm not even doing the holdover at 4. I'm just fucking aiming at it. So, it's optic. You can also fucking use left control plus right click, and you have a top-mounted sight, and you also have a 1x scope. So basically, in real life, what this has is it has a built-in prism inside of it, and so with a flick of a lever, you can switch between a 4x scope and a 1x scope. So it's real fucking popular with special forces for a reason. And fucking general infantry. Alright, so like I said, this isn't really complicated shit. But people tend to make it overcomplicated for a reason. Again, you guys are not fucking special snowflakes. You're not gonna have a fucking special cap in your special feather in your cap just because you've gotten the marksmanship tab. This is like the basics of the basics, gentlemen. Let me see what they have for notes that they want me to teach you beyond what I've already taught. Because they have a syllabus. So again, a couple things. You guys operate, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Computer, don't shit out on me now. Alright, so again, you guys are going to operate as a cohesive part of your squad. You're not expected to operate independently like a sniper does. Even then, snipers typically won't operate independently. They will fucking operate with at least a 2-man team. You will be moving and operating with at least a 8-man team. Fundamentals marksmanship, we already went over those. Range estimation, that is paramount to success, guys. If you cannot estimate how far your target is, you will not be able to hit it. Stable shooting platform, simple trigger control trait. Armor doesn't have that, so don't worry about that. Other rifles of the 7.62. We'll go over those in a second. Positioning as a scout. Overwatch for a squad advancing or defense of a point. Okay, so this I kind of have a problem with because you're not a scout, so don't try to act like a scout. That being said, you can be pushed away from your squad at certain times because you have a longer, or you have a higher fucking power scope than most guys would. IRL, but guess what? Everybody uses the same fucking scope, so it's a contradictory argument. In reality, you would typically have a more powerful optic on your rifle though than the guy next to you, so you might be able to. They might send you up a hill to scout what's on the other side, or maybe sit into a certain position because you have a longer range of fire than they do, and so basically you'd be a long range fire supporting asset. Wow, the fucking shit they have on the syllabus. How to identify what certain roles look like, where they would be, how they act. Fuck off. Fighting with the squad. This is actually important. Prioritization of targets outside the effective range of basic riflemen. Prioritization of targets after firepower. And utility like medics. Okay, what does that mean? So, you guys are also going to be fucking shooting at people that are, please take off the long-range scope, Ghost Warrior. So, at the end of the day, what are you guys going to be doing? You're not going to just be shooting at people, you're also going to be shooting at high-value targets. So, we're talking about active engagements. If you see somebody with a machine gun and two other guys with a rifle, who should you probably be shooting at?
Machine gunner.
And why should you be shooting at the machine gunner?
Because they can suppress their squad and do more
so,
damage.
If you guys have been to my fucking basic training or to my auto rifleman class, you know that a single machine gun represents around 60% of his squad's firepower. So he's got a fucking big gun, and we're usually fighting against Russians. So they typically are using the 7.62 by 51 Russian round, which is a bit bigger than the fucking 7.62 NATO round. So it's got about a good 100 to 150 meters more effective range than the fucking typical 7.62 rifle or bullet that you have in your rifle right now. Why is that a difference, or why is that important to know the difference? Because it's also going to hit harder. That shit will almost one-hit kill you, even with our medical system. If you get hit in the fucking chest, even with a fucking level 4 plate carrier, which you're probably wearing, it'll fucking incapacitate you and probably knock your ass out. So, we need to be fucking shooting at shit that's priority targets, because guess what? We're the fucking guys that do the precision shit, because we have the nice, precise rifle. Okay, so, if you come with me real quick, or actually, you guys want to shoot some more before we continue the lecture, or do you want to finish the lecture so you guys can go about your lives?
Keep talking.
Alright. Somebody said keep talking, so I'm going to keep talking. So, if you guys want to follow me back to the base, because you don't have a choice, because we're going to teleport shortly. Alright, so let's try this again. Over here. So, one of the disadvantages you guys have without using the fucking LRPS and the shit like that is that you can't always see the fine details. So, you need to start recognizing certain things at range, okay? So, an AK obviously doesn't look like an M16. Does anybody here have an M16? For the love of God, would they fucking give me the proper shit that I need to teach my class with? So, this over here, HK 416. 10-inch barrel with nothing on top. So if I look over here to the fucking right, because everybody has AKs apparently in this lineup, except for this fucker, you can tell that there's a difference between an AK. Oh, hey, look at M16 right here. Completely missed it. So you need to be able to start telling the fucking difference between rifles at range, even at fucking 4x. So things to look for are going to be the signature fucking trademark tells of the AK pattern rifles. So an AK is going to have a longer curved banana magazine, as you can see this guy right here. It also has this nice little part right here towards the end of his rifle that kind of pushes up out of the barrel. That's going to be the pistol operating system. So you're not going to see that with these shorty guns like this, but you can still kind of tell that it's a AK variant because of the materials that are made out of and just the general pattern of the rifle. Same thing as we move over here. We all know what an RPG looks like. Try to shoot the RPG. Shooting the RPG will not make it detonate. Just as well, you guys need to know what the fucking NATO 5.56 rifles look like, such as this, the squad automatic weapon. And you need to know what the fucking Russian rifles look like. So this is a, I believe this is a PKM. So over here we have the fucking Dragunov SVD. We also have the newer pattern AKs. This is a AK, either an AK-12. It's either an AK-105 or the AK-100 series or a AK-74, a modernized variant. Okay, so obviously the guns look a little bit different. And then we move over here and we see again the PKM or the PKP. What is the PKM and the PKP? Basically, squad automatic weapon for the Russian or Soviet forces. That's ubiquitous around the world, though, just like fucking a lot of American guns are found around the world. Russia makes cheap guns for fucking peasant economy, and so they're they're cheap to fucking produce, and they're literally just fielded all over the world. AKs are made out of fucking stamped steel. They make they cost something like $4 to make, versus an American AR which costs hundreds of dollars to make. So they're fucking cheap, they're fucking reliable, and that's why they're one of the most popular weapons around the world. So obviously, you know what a grenadier looks like. Underbarrel grenade launcher. Boom, boom. So what's this matter for you guys? So you need to be prioritizing these people over here as follows. You need to be prioritizing the machine gunners, ATE, and squad leads. Not necessarily in that order. Whichever presents the most imminent threat to your squad. If you see somebody fucking shouldering a rocket and they're pointing towards American forces, it's probably a good idea to engage them. Why? Because guess what? You're going to prevent them from killing friendlies. Same thing with a fucking machine gun. If you see a machine gun that's just tearing into a fucking friendly's flank, fucking let your squad lead know and fucking follow the basics of marksmanship. Get prone. Get to a stable shooting platform. Prone or stable shooting platform. Either or. Translation. Fucking deploy your bipod on some fucking platforms. That way you can have a nice stable shot. Or fucking get as stable as possible. And then fucking shoot to kill. Okay? Squad leaders. What to look for with a squad lead? Well, guess what? Not everybody runs around with fucking backpack on with a giant radio like some of our squad leads do, so it's a little hard to tell AI squad leads apart. Generally, though, they'll be within the they'll be generally like the third person in a formation. Let me see if there's any other examples I can use around here. These are fucking military cucks. These are... I have no idea what these are. These are PMC. These are American forces. These are British forces. These are UN. Ooh, yay, Mystic. Let's see if there's actually any proper Russians. Yeah, there's proper Russians over here. I want to say this is the IDF. This is the Israeli Defense Force, or Pakistan Defense Force, one of the two. Fucking third world peasant dirt farmers here. These look like proper Russians, but they're not proper Russians. These are proper Russians here. So one of the key things to look between as I'll demonstrate very quickly. So if you guys take a look here at the plate carrier, they don't really have a full plate carrier system like we do. Take this off. Just away. Thank you. So my fucking chest rig looks a lot different than his chest rig, doesn't it? I just want to get in close here so you can see what I'm talking about. Their fucking chest rig or their fucking armor system goes clear up to their collar. The American system or the NATO system typically stops just below the collar. So that's one thing to notice. Their backpacks are different. They're also their fucking helmets are different, and optics are different. So little small things to look for. You can see how my fucking helmet differentiates between his helmet. He has a full ear cover. Ours stops at the ear. It's kind of hard to tell with mine because I have peltors on, which are just like a fancy headset in real life. You guys see the little differences though as we fucking move over here. We'll also typically have really retarded balaclavas. You can see what I'm talking about here with the full over the ear protection. Our helmets are a lot different than the Russians. Kit is obviously a lot different. Colors used as well. So again, I'm gonna be prioritizing fucking certain targets above other targets, and what are they again?
Squad leads, AT, and
Machine guns, and other targets as necessary. How do you tell a medic apart? Well, you can't really tell a medic unless there's somebody fucking walking over to revive a guy. Boom, there's a medic. A quick exercise to teach you guys something. The fucking importance of a stable shooting platform. So what happens to your aim as you guys are running around in combat? Stopping, trying to aim at
stamina.
something. And that
It's
affects your
waving
aim.
around.
Yeah, here you go. So what's going to happen is we're going to run some laps real quick, and you're going to go try to shoot a target. So starting here, what's going to happen is you're going to follow me. We're just going to jog real quick. You're going to come along here. We're going to loop around this box right here. Then we're gonna go back down by the Humvee, and you're gonna do that about 4 times, okay? You're gonna come over here. You're not gonna be using the wall because guess what? You're fucking running. You're gonna come over to my feet, over at this position here. You're gonna try to shoot a target that is going to be somewhere out there. So let me find a good position for one.
Probably right about there. Or on the top of the tower.
Don't worry about where I put it, because I know where I'm going to. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Alright, so Arma apparently decided to kick me for whatever reason. Did it say why I was kicked?
Nope.
Wonderful. Okay, so training's over with. The last fucking point of this training is to help stress the fucking basics. And what basically what you need to understand is that when you're out in the field and you're moving around, you generate stamina loss. And so what that translates to is your fucking weapon swaying all over the place. And so this is it was supposed to be a stress test, I should say. So that's to highlight a few things. Stable shooting platform, range estimation, high stress environment, or as much stress as I can fucking simulate by running around a fucking virtual box in a fucking virtual Humvee. Okay, so what do those two things do to you? It's going to deteriorate your aim, it's going to make it harder to fucking estimate the range, so it's going to fucking reinforce those two basics. You need to be able to estimate how far the target is to be able to shoot at it, and you have to have a fucking stable shooting platform to be able to hit it. If your fucking aim's going over the place, you're not going to be able to estimate range, or to be able to fucking shoot at the target in a very fucking accurate fashion. So, your job as you move forward, practice those two fundamentals. Practice those two fundamentals of marksmanship repeatedly. Cannot stress that enough, because if you do not have the capability to estimate the range to your target, you're not going to be able to shoot properly and adjust your fucking point of aim to actually hit it. Just as well, if you do not have a stable shooting platform, you will not be able to fucking hit your target because your aim's kicking all over the fucking place. Questions?
You have a recommendation on a loadout? How much ammo, maybe as opposed to smokes, grenades?
So, good question. Follow the typical rifleman loadout of, pardon me. Follow the typical recommended 3 to 5 smokes, and then have a couple hand grenades, because you don't know what you're going to be encountering, so you want to have a varied loadout. Smokes are fucking great for concealment when you need it. For your rifle, though, you'll notice immediately when you try to fucking create a loadout for marksman that you don't have as much room for ammo as you do with a 5.56. So one of the reasons why they moved away from the 7.62 to the 5.56 is that they could carry a hell of a lot more ammunition than they could with a 7.62. With I think it was like 10 magazines, you're gonna have 200 rounds versus 10 magazines with 5.56. You're typically gonna have 300 rounds. So you're carrying more ammunition. It's gonna be lighter ammunition. Your shit's gonna be heavier. So I typically will have one magazine in my rifle, and then I'll have another 8 in my chest rig. You don't want to have much more than that because shit's heavy.
You go half. You go half normal, half tracer.
No.
No tracer.
Typically, you don't want to be carrying tracer. Tracer was there for training purposes to help you guys see your shots. But it doesn't work very well in fucking daytime, and I wasn't ready to switch the time over. I also have to fucking go study for an exam, so sorry, I'm trying to make this as quick as possible.
Okay.
You guys are still getting the same amount of information that everybody else that goes through this course does. So, good question though, because nobody has ever asked that on me.
Make a note. I asked a good question.
Anybody else? Questions? Is there anything you're uncertain about? There should be one thing that you are certain of, and that is that you are not a
Sniper.
Sniper.
Or
do not play like a
scout.
Sniper.
Scout or sniper. Well, you guys can actually function. Like again, you can function as scouts. Anybody can. Let me break something down for you. Reconnaissance is a mission. Reconnaissance can be conducted through a variety of means. There's passive reconnaissance. There's active reconnaissance. There's reconnaissance by looking at fucking available intelligence. Like you can look at a map. That's considered intelligence. Like, hey, here's a high feature near this village down here. Oh, hey, maybe it's protected by the enemy, because if it allows me to have an advantage, the enemy's going to try to deny that advantage to me, the enemy. Okay? So, you can also do reconnaissance with a drone. You can do it with a vehicle. You can do reconnaissance by force. The fucking Marine Corps had an entire division called Force Reconnaissance. You also have... basically, the idea is that reconnaissance is a mission, okay? Sometimes you'll be given a task of doing reconnaissance as a marksman. That does not make you a scout. A scout is a person who specializes typically in reconnaissance. Okay? So, just because you're told to go on top of the hill and look over it and tell me what it is does not make you a fucking recon specialist. Recon specialist has an entirely different set of skills that typically a rifleman will not have. And that includes a few things. Advanced map reading, knowledge of the terrain and how to interpret a topographical map to the point where he can understand sight lines, understanding fucking foliage density and how to maneuver within a given area so that way he can remain stealthy and undetected. Now it sounds real simple. For a lot of people though, it's not. Because people are fucking retarded. I'm not saying that to be an asshole. It's literally a psychological principle that people vastly overestimate their own capabilities. Alright, so on that note, can you function as a scout? Yes. Are you a scout? No. Why? Because you're not trained to be a scout. You're trained to be a marksman. This is a short and this is a very sweet training. Scout sniper school, by comparison, 2 to 3 hours of lecture and about an hour and a half of testing just to get to the final stock phase. If you can pass. It has a fucking 87% washout rate, so good luck. You need it. So, any other questions? So, when you're in combat, what are you going to do when you fucking try to shoot something at range? Ghost Warrior. Based off of so look for role and what's known as immediacy of threat, or basically what's an immediate threat. So if you have a fucking AT stick pointed at friendlies, drop the guy. Can I hear Ghost Warrior? Yes. Can you not?
I did not, no. Seymour did not.
T-Far
Oh,
still
yeah,
works in
'cause
this
I'm in
channel
the
with
game.
distance.
Well, where the hell is he?
He's in the building that... He was on top of this building.
Is he way up?
Or no, he was in it. I heard
Go ahead and
about it.
disconnect from the server, please.
I did that. It's fixed.
Go ahead and just disconnect from the server.
Yeah.
Alright, so, to pass along what I asked to him, yeah, you obviously heard what I said, but you didn't hear what he said. His answer was basically, you fucking adopt a stable shooting platform, estimate the range of the target, engage and shoot the target, depending upon what type of threat they are. Are they an anti-tank? Are they are they an anti-tank? Are they a fucking MG compared to, say, a rifleman? Doesn't pose as much threat as the fucking anti-tank or the guy with the fucking MG. Same as he will engage fucking medics or targets of opportunity that are advantageous to fuck the squad up. If I kill their medic, they probably can't revive their people, can they?
Nope.
And you guys have been in fucking operations now where when you lose your medic, you know shit's gonna happen. And you're no longer combat effective. You get hit, and guess what? You're kind of fucked, because you don't have anybody to patch you up now, do you? if you think A&B is bad, you should try one of my missions sometimes. So, again, any questions, guys, feel free to ask. I'm ready to head out, because this is the end of training. Oh, last thing I forgot to talk about. Leading your target. So, guess what? Things move. You can't just shoot at the target. Why?
Because they move.
And your bolt has to
The
move
thing
too.
is that the bullet, by the time it reaches your target, the bullet takes time to travel to reach its target. So generally, you have to think of it as a rule of thumb. It's about 1 second for every 300 meters. That's rough estimate, because you have to remember that the bullet's losing speed as it travels out, okay? So what's going to happen as a result of that is that you're going to have, at like a kilometer, it's going to take maybe 3-4 seconds to get out there, depending upon what caliber weapon you're using. A big fucking heavy thing, like a 50 cal, it's going to have a lot of energy to it, and it's going to have a lot more powder in its cartridge to propel it out the fucking end of like a M107. So, what's that matter to you? You have to fucking aim in front of the target, so that way your bullet hits not where they are, but where they're going to be. This is one of the more difficult tasks to fucking master as a marksman. It's hard to master as a fucking sniper. It's even harder for you guys because you don't have those fucking you don't have those super magnified optics, okay? So, one thing you need to start doing is practicing leading your targets. Same thing with fucking any rifle. If you're shooting at something at a distance, you don't aim directly at the target. I see this all the time, and it's infinitely flabbergasting. I'll fucking facepalm. I've done it numerous times on Friday Ops. And, like, I've seen Liru do it. I'm like, Liru, stop fucking shooting at the helicopter and shoot where the helicopter's going. So if I have somebody that's coming from my right-hand side, so let's reference this, basically, think of it from your shoulder. So if I have somebody coming from my right to my left shoulder, that means they're coming from my right to my left. Where would I aim in front of the target?
To the left.
Yes, okay, it's a simple concept. Now, if they're coming towards me, where am I going to aim?
Center.
Front.
I'm going to aim ahead of the target. You're going to aim down below, okay? The reason why is because, again, they're moving towards me, so I want to aim my point of aim at where they're going to be when the bullet meets them, okay? So you have to start thinking not in just 3 dimensions, but 4 dimensions. Fourth dimension is time. Okay, you have to start predicting not just where a target is, but where you have to not only see where the target is, but you have to start predicting where it's going to be after you take your shot. Okay, if you are unable to do that, shoot at people when they're standing still, or when they're like, have you ever shot at a target and you see they kind of like crouch down and they look around trying to find where the shot came from?
Yeah.
Okay, that's when you shoot them. If you cannot lead your targets properly, shoot at them when they are in a moment of pause like that, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Take the shot that you know you can hit, but do not be afraid to miss, okay? If I, as a squad lead, tell you, shoot that target over there, and it's 500 meters away, well, if you never shoot, are you going to hit the target?
Nope.
No, you're not going to fucking hit something unless you shoot at it. It's a simple fucking rule of physics. And an event will not occur unless you actually fucking try to do that event. With a fucking gun, at least. So, simple concept. Something to really start fucking practicing, because it is a very difficult skill to master. I've gotten pretty good at it over my fucking multiple years of playing this game. Even I'm not perfect. There's people who spend an entire lifetime trying to master this skill. Well, the whole point of teaching you how to range the target with the fucking rifle optic is so it's quicker. So, stop and think about that for a second. If you try to pull out your binoculars and look at a target and range it, you then have to put the binoculars away, grab the rifle back out, get the fucking optic on the guy, and then you have to adjust your fucking point of aim anyway. If you use the optic to estimate their range, you're already fucking queued up for your shot. The only thing you have to do is apply fucking lead to the target, if it's applicable. I mean, does that make sense?
Yes.
That's the other reason why I try to teach shit the way I do, because it's a lot quicker and it's a lot easier once you've spent enough time doing it.